more about him, his music, his open heart than anything I can say. Let's welcome the wonderful local treasure who's been all around, but we're lucky to have him here tonight, BRROKS Hubbard.
We should have coordinated outfits tonight. I'm alone in the house I grew up in. I'm looking at my life in these walls, and there's markings, an imperfect drywall, wine and beer stains, and the carpet we bought at the mall. Yeah, there's a history, and if these walls could talk, they'd ricochet moments of life we can't get back at all. Morning coffee, getting ready for schooling, and arguments brewing over bills not paid. Yeah, and the feeling like your world's disappearing, and the worst that could happen already did. In the roof that my parents raised, drinking beers with their friends. It's all part of the magic. Sometimes love turns tragic in the house you grew up in. I'm alone in the house I grew up in, and there's no way of knowing if I'm done growing in the house I grew up in. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. That was the title track of my new album that's coming out later this year, hopefully by October time. We're in the mixing stage, but I thought this first set I'd like to play the whole album for you guys here. So, yeah, thank you. And kind of explain the inspiration. I became a father 2 years ago. And that changed a lot. Especially this next tune here. This is called Augie's Song. This is it's about our firstborn. Once you were nothing but a dream, a wish between your mama and me. We closed our eyes, we felt alive, we found what loving really means. When you were born, we saw the truth, we knew exactly what to do. We made a plan for our little man. The world became as big as you. You are everything, and should you ever feel alone, just listen to the river sing. It's singing Augie's song. How could it be we had a life before we ever heard you cry? From what we had to mom and dad, we wouldn't dare go back in time. You are everything, and should you ever feel alone, just listen to the river sing. It's singing Augie's song. It's singing Augie's song. Once you were nothing but a dream, a wish between your mom and me. We closed our eyes, we felt alive, we found what loving really means. You are everything, and should you ever feel alone, just listen to the river sing. It's singing Augie's song. A melody of joy it brings, and the force sings along. Wherever under the stars you are, you will always be home. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you belong. Oh, you belong here. You belong. Thank you so much. From the day of birth to the ride in the hearse, there'll always be a bond. Not brothers, but other, a clone thanks to a mother, and the blood makes us father and son. In the first days of spring, we stretch the lines out and sing, and go fishing out on the pond. Dry up by the fire till it's time to retire, and dream about the coming of dawn. Some days are tough, some nights not enough. When we're screaming, we're right when we're wrong. But it's not hard to see that he gets it from me, and the blood makes us father and son. And we might go for weeks without even a peep, the words of love stuck on our tongue. Forgive and forget is a man's Everest. It's hard to climb, but it needs to be done. Some lessons are learned, some just crash and burn, but remember to always move on. 'Cause it's not hard to see that he gets it from me, and the blood makes us father and son. When my last days are here, I'll think of the beer and the times we tied tightly in song. But before I go, I want you to know I'm so proud of who you become. Some days are tough, some nights not enough, but we'll take what we get till it's gone. And it's not hard to see that he gets it from me, and the blood makes us father and son. Yeah, the love makes us father and son. All right. Thank you so much. So I wrote those last two songs before my son was even born, but maybe 2-3 months before. I was thinking about all the things about what's going to be like to be a dad and a parent. And of course, that got me thinking about my dad and how the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree and how we might be in trouble. And so this next song is kind of about maybe part of the trouble. But us Hubbards, we're good lovers. We're sometimes a little late to things, but we're on time with our love. This is called Out of Time. I'm always running out of time. Can't do everything on my mind. It leaves me feeling dull and blind. I'm always running out of time. I get distracted every day. Never can keep up with the pace. I keep thinking I'm gonna change. I get distracted every day. But oh, my love, long time. My heart ain't hard to find. I'm always chasing down that line, straight into running out of time. Feeling closer with each step. Top of the mountain's just ahead. Slip and fall and lose my breath while we were starting once again. But oh, my love, long time. My heart ain't hard to find. I'm always chasing down that line, straight into running out of time. Always running out of time. Can't do everything on my mind. It leaves me feeling dull and blind. I'm always running out of time. But oh, my love, long time, yeah. My heart ain't hard to find. I'm always chasing down that line. I'm always running out of time. Little bluegrass tune there. Thank you. Well, we just had Mother's Day last week, and I wrote this song for my mom, which was also kind of part of this whole album, you know, was sort of written after becoming a parent, becoming a dad, and got me thinking about all the roles, and especially the mother, and how much weight women carry, and quite literally and physically. And, women make people, which I think is that's got to be the biggest superpower you could possibly have. So I don't know what men do, but women make people. So it's kind of like the walked on the moon conversation. It's like, well, I walked on the moon. Well, I can make people. So, but anyways, I surprised my mom a couple Christmases ago with this song, and we both cried and all that stuff, and it was good. Not trying to make anybody cry tonight, but hope you're thinking about your mom. Pretty as the leaves change on the trees, it doesn't come close to what you mean. I have you to thank for my life. My mama's always been right by my side. She taught me to brave the mountain climb, to forge on and leave the rocky path behind. Gives more of herself than she receives. That's what my mama's always done for me. Oh, mother, there ain't no other love like her. Oh, brother, in a world where we push one another, we'll always need a mother. She gets up at dawn and works all day with the terminally ill and the elderly, and makes them feel love until it's their time. So many tears cried, so many goodbyes. Oh, mother, there ain't no other love like her. Oh, brother, in a world where we all suffer, we'll always need a mother. One reason for life I know to be true: whoever you are, whatever you do, you came from your mom, and it started with love. My mom says that's what we're all made of. Oh, mother, there ain't no other love like her. Oh, brother, in a world where we push one another. And oh, mother, from my first breath to towering your shoulders, I know we're getting older, but I want you to know that I'll always need you. I'll always need my mother. Oh, song for the moms right there. All right, we're going to go from the moms to the second most important person, and that's the sugar makers. So when I moved back from Nashville a couple years ago, living in the house I grew up in, that's the title of the album and the whole reason. And we border Patch Maple Farm. And yeah, it's just kind of got to witness that whole production going on one day, and just got me thinking about writing a little song. So This is called Sugar King. Snow melting in the sunshine, strong winds blowing down. Pretty soon the waters will run, filled underneath the ground. The sappine's elevated, it's streaming like an IV. It boils almost down to nothing, ain't life like a maple tree. Make it sweet, the way life should be in the spring. Sugar King. It's early in the morning, before the frost begins to thaw, and he's out there in the woodlands, clearing brush with his saw. He walks up in the maples, checking every tap he sees, follows the lines back to the shack house, and he samples this tasty tree. Run, 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 run it, boy, make it fancy, make it sweet, the way life should be in the spring. Sugar King. Later in the evening, sitting back rocking his chair, thinks about the loving lost ones, the color of her hair. Wasn't gold like California, wasn't brown like Tennessee, it was red as a maple, the queen of New England tree. Run, 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 run it, boy, make it fancy, make it sweet, the way life should be in the spring. Sugar King, run, 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 run it, boy, make it fancy, make it sweet, the way life should be in the spring. Sugar King, Sugar King, Sugar King. La, 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 la. Thank you so much. So one of the things I was really excited about becoming a boy dad, all the traditions I have with my dad, like going fishing. And we have yet to go fishing, but you know, he's only 2 years old. We're gonna try to do some camping maybe this summer and get out there a little bit. But this is a song about all the stuff I'm excited about. And another one for Mr. Augie Boy. It's called The Boy's First Waltz. You were born on the 4th in the spring. You just never know what you mean to me. Little hands and tiny toes. growing each day like the vine of a rose in the garden of your grandma's house. Don't know who I would be now if it weren't for you. Pretty soon you'll be talking for miles. We'll go out traveling, rock and roll style, learn how to swim in the pond, and go on fall hikes with your mom and the dog to the top of the mountain so high. All the leaves paint the forest tie-dye, and life just keeps roaring on by. Don't get me wrong, it ain't easy, but life's never been so breezy. Sure, there's ups and downs, but your feet are on the ground, dancing to the sound of a boy's first waltz. I can't wait till you catch all the fish. We'll go camp in the whites, toast marshmallows on sticks, sleep on the ground neath the stars. And I'll point out Jupiter, and you'll see how far. I'd say it's not far enough to capture the length of our love. Yeah, the universe just ain't big enough. Don't get me wrong, it ain't easy, but life's never been so peachy. Sure, there's ups and downs, but your feet are on the ground, dancing to the sound of a boy's first waltz. Someday you'll grow up to become a man with a voice and a beat of his own, but you'll always be my son. You'll never not be our first little one in a house that we built up with love, and the ancestral tree up above. So ready for all that's to come. Don't get me wrong, it's so easy. Life's never been this breezy. Sure, there's ups and downs, but your feet are on the ground, dancing to the sound of a boy's first waltz. A boy's first waltz. Thank you. He'll be reeling in his first fish in no time. So my wife and I, we lived down in Nashville 2015 to 2021, and we're both from up here. I'm from Enfield, she's from Lebanon, and pandemic happened. You know, I was beginning of 2020 pretty burnt out from touring. My band and I were for about 3 years. We're just kind of nonstop, gone. You know, 4 out of every 7 days kind of thing. And 2020 rolled around, and we didn't really have a ton in the books, which was good. We didn't have to cancel a ton of stuff, but had no idea what kind of world that we were gonna, have to figure out. But that sort of broke up the band in some ways, and my wife and I decided we wanted to start a family, so we had to come back here to the Upper Valley because it's just a special place, and I know you all know that. Doesn't really relate to this song, but it does in the sense that in the pandemic, you know, we lost a lot of great people, and one of my favorite singer-songwriters and inspirations, John Prine, we lost in the pandemic, yeah. And I was kind of in a John Prine phase when I wrote this song, and was really trying to channel him and maybe write a few things he would write. But this is just about it's about the thing that keeps us carrying on. It's called the heart. The heart wants what it wants. You can't kill the power of love. What's meant to be is meant to be. It doesn't take an eye to see. The heart wants what it wants. And they say every day is a gift. Some days the gears are hard to shift. They get stuck out in the mud. You got drive within your blood. Every day is a gift. Life gets much better, or maybe it just doesn't change. When you're searching for the answers, and you let the telephone ring. Don't let your water overflow. You could drown the ones you love. Just keep an eye out for the tide. It should be coming in tonight. Don't let your water overflow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let yourself be yourself. No actor could perform you well. Ain't nothing easier to be, and your play is so unique. Let yourself be yourself. 'Cause life gets much better, or maybe it just doesn't change. When you're praying for a lover, and there's no hope to be saved, there is always a lesson at the end of every day. Now I don't pretend to know the truth, but we all know it's good for you. The heart wants what it wants. Yeah, thank you. I got a couple more here on this album. Thank you so much for being such a great audience and listening. It's not all the time I get to play for people that are listening. I'm a bar singer. I call that my day job. People ask, you have any other jobs? Like, yeah, playing a bar, you know, in the corner. Got to feed the babies, you know. So the inspiration behind at least the genre of this album, this new album, was my dad and his friends. And my dad plays plays the Anonymous Coffee House, and him and his buddies have a couple different bluegrass outfits and play around the Upper Valley and have a good time. And they have this thing on Thursday nights where they, since they were, you know, in their late 20s, been getting together on Thursday nights, having a picking session and just sharing songs and having a good time and keeping up with each other. And that's something you don't really see. You know, it's one of the benefits of music and learning an instrument is you have this connection, and we can share it, you know. But the first time I remember seeing my dad and his band play, at least one of the first times, was at Jellystone Campground. And just seeing him up there in a different way, you know, he's my dad, and he was playing for people and making people smile and giving them a good time. And I instantly felt that connection, and I understood that that's a power, it's a gift, and I really wanted to learn how to do that. So he had this guitar, this Ovation guitar that he always played. And during the pandemic, I was home for a while and got that old guitar out, and I wrote this song in 10 minutes. It was one of the moments that just kind of everything poured out of me. It's called My Dad's Guitar. Well, I remember standing there watching him play. He had the power to change someone's day. And I thought how cool to be up on the stage, just strumming and singing like one of the greats. Well, my dad had a guitar and it played like a dream. It shined and it rang out, it did everything. And one day I asked if I could fumble the strings. He said, son, just remember one thing. Play from your heart and sing from your soul. Let the truth out, let it swallow you whole. Let it make them feel something all the way in the back row. No truer words have come from a star. I feel every note in a lifetime with my dad's guitar. Well, I practiced the chords, but didn't learn all the scales. But I got good enough to believe in myself. I went to my dad, said, here's what I've got. He said, it's great, but it's gonna take a whole lot. So play from your heart and sing from your soul. Let the truth out, let it swallow you whole. Let it make them feel something all the way in the back row. No truer words have come from a star. I feel every note in a lifetime with my dad's guitar. Yeah. Well, I went down to Nashville to play with the best. The gunslinging pickers and Cadillac cats. I fit into place, but something ain't right. No one plays like my dad with such joy for life. So play from your heart and sing from your soul. Let the truth out, let it swallow you whole. Let it make them feel something all the way in the back row. No true words have come from a star. I feel every note in a lifetime with my dad's guitar. Yeah, I feel every note in a lifetime with my dad's guitar. I remember standing there watching him play. He's just picking and grinning like one of the greats. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good plug to say my dad will be joining me at the Quechee Balloon Festival on Father's Day. For a special set of music. I think we start around 2:30 in the afternoon, so hopefully we get some nice weather. But it'll be really nice to get my dad back up here. All right, two more songs. This is the last song I wrote for the album, and I had played a house concert down in Pennsylvania last fall, and it was just a really fun Saturday night kind of thing, low key, and families and kids running around and barbecues, and it's like that's life right there, So I wrote this song. It's called Old Friends, Young Kids. Old friends, young kids, Saturday nights in the summer wind, barbecues, any excuse to drink and laugh and smoke away our weekday blues. And time, it just goes by. Before you know it, we'll be looking back and aside. But I'm just thankful for this life and old friends, young kids, taking a trip to the grandparents, the skin knees, noses bleed. But we do the best we can to raise them up in peace. And time, it just goes by. Before you know it, we'll be looking back and aside. But I'm just thankful for this life. This world weighs you down. The gravity of stress will put you in the ground. Just take a breath and think about all the priceless things that we can't live without, like old friends and young kids, Saturday nights for the hell of it, and everything in between. What is real and what feels like a dream. And old friends, young kids, thank you. I got one more here, and then we're going to do a little intermission. But, thanks for sitting through this, everybody. It's my wife and I's third wedding anniversary coming up next week. Thank you. We've been together for 11 years, but we took our time, you know, doing all that stuff. But this is a song I wrote for her on our wedding day and played it for her, surprised her on our wedding day. This is called First Time. Well, the first time I met you, it was like an old movie scene. From across the room I saw you, I caught you sneaking glances at me. And I didn't get your number, but I never forgot your smile. And it took a little while. When we first moved in together, it was hard to figure out a routine. Yes, sometimes I did the dishes, but mostly you did everything. Now we've got a life, and I know we'll live it right. I'll be right by your side. When we first said I love you, when we first shared a drink, when we first poured out our hearts and shared what we think, when we first said forever, when we first said you're mine, I hope you feel the way I do. The way it feels like me and you will always have a first time. first talked to marriage, I was scared I didn't have a plan. But you gave me a promise, and that day I became a man. And we're so in love, and I know that life can be tough, but our love is enough. When we first said I love you, when we first felt what it means, when we first talked to having kids and starting a family, when we first said forever, when we first said you're mine. I hope you feel the way I do, the way it feels like me and you will always have a first time. We'll always have a first time. We'll always have a first time. Thank you so much. We'll take a little intermission.